The next concept that we are going to study is market segmentation. Let's define market segmentation. We'll try to understand what is market segmentation basically. Market segmentation is the identification of different groups of customers with the common needs within a market. With common needs within a market. And marketing of different products or services and marketing of different products or services to those customer groups. We can also define market segmentation in a way that it's approach that identifies different segments or subgroups with similar characteristics in a market on the basis of age, gender, social classes, geographical attributes, demographic characteristics, psychological attributes, and targeting them separately. For example, a business is making, if you go to a shopping center to buy a shirt, you will find a shirt of different shirts of different prices. They are targeting different income groups basically. You can find very formal shirts that they are targeting some office going people. There you can find some very funky t-shirts. They are actually targeting to a younger age group. You can find a different range of jeans pants, for example. They are also targeting different classes. The office going people are not wearing sometimes jeans, they are wearing dress pants, so they are making dress pants for them. The other school going kids and college going kids are usually wearing jeans, so they are targeting them. This is called market segmentation. So market segmentation is customer focused. When we speak the term customer focused, we want to say that market segmentation is related with the customer oriented approach. So market oriented is customer focused. It's also consistent with the customer orientation concepts, the 4 C's and all that we have earlier studied. Okay, there are a few examples of the market segmentation. For example, HP, another computer manufacturer, produce PCs for offices and home use, including games, but also make laptops model for business people and sometimes for the people who travel. Coca-Cola makes standardized Coca-Cola drink for mass market, but also Diet Coke for the people who are weight conscious and who are diabetic, for example. They're also making different flavored drinks for consumers who like different tastes. You can talk about Toyota Corolla, for example. Toyota Corolla is making WITs for the students, for example. Camry and Corolla for the office going people, for example. And Camry sometimes is a family car. They are producing Land Cruisers for off-road tracks, for example. These all are examples of market segmentation. Now we'll study that what are the methods of market segmentation and what are the details of that. Successful segmentations requires a few things. For example, the business should have always a clear analysis of the consumers in the target market so that they can target them accordingly. The aim to have this is to have the clear picture so that how a typical consumer might feel, a typical consumer might react. They should also see the consumer profiles while doing their market research about developing the market segmentation. What is this consumer profile? We can define it later. We can define it and we can talk about it. Abhi, let's talk about the market segmentation on the basis of different things. We have geographic segmentations, for example. A similar brand might be making fans and ACs for Lahore because the weather is very hot there, and the similar brand might be making heaters for the northern areas of Pakistan where the weather is not that hot and there are winters always, for example. This is called geographic segmentation. Geographic segmentation is based on many things. They are based on country based. We can take example of McDonald's that is producing a vegetable burger in India and beef burger in USA. It can be population based. For the areas that are very populated, different kinds of product can be made, and areas that are less populated, different kinds of product. That can be climate based. I given you example of a similar brand making fans and heaters. It can be urban and rural based. These are few example of the geographic segmentations. It's not, there are many other cases too in the geographic segmentation. Consumer tastes different in different areas. The consumers might have, let's come to the foods, for example. Consumers in Asia, Pakistan, and other Asian related countries, we use more spices in foods, for example. But if you go to the Europe, you will always find, you can say badi phiki khana hai, bada phika food hai, less spices are being used. So the similar brands are making different kind of spices and different kinds of products in different regions of the countries. Similarly, as I told you that it can be urban and rural, for example. For the urban people, for the cities people who have to go to offices, different kinds of dresses can be made, and the rural people who do not have to go to offices and work in their farms, on their lands, the different kind of dresses can be made. So this is the one way to segment the market, that is called a geographic segment. Then we have the demographic differences. Demographic segmentations. In the demographic segmentations, we have on the basis of age, on the basis of lifestyle. For example, I earlier given you example, for the kids, we make funky clothes. For the old age people, we make safari suits. For the middle age groups going to offices, we make 3-piece, 2-piece suits. On the basis of gender, you see the female and male perfumes are always separate. On the basis of income, I gave you the example of clothing. On a similar brand shop, you can find different range of clothing on different prices. On the base of religion, cultures. Muslims do not use wines, for example. In the similar areas, similar drink brands might be selling soft drinks, and the similar drink brands might be selling hard drinks to some other areas. On the basis of religion, culture, and on the basis of lifestyle. When we speak the term demographic, so demography is the study of population, data, trends, demographic factors such as age, gender, income, family size, social class, ethnic backgrounds. These all are used in the segmentation called demographic segmentation. For example, a construction industry, construction business will use information of these factors to help identify appropriate market segment for new block of apartments. Should they build some retirement flats with the resident caretaker, for example, because the old age group is living there, or similarly, they can identify number of things. Income and social classes are also important in demographic factors and identify socioeconomic groups. that can be used as a market. An individual occupation tends to determine their social class, for example. As I told you earlier, that there might be some farmer, there might be some office going people, there might be some shopkeepers, etc. There might be some students. For everyone, for example, the usage of the dressing is different. So we can use them in the different segmentation. For example, if you look at your book, you will identify a number of examples: higher managerial, administrative, professional people, supervisory, clerical people, skilled manual workers, casual part-time workers. For every kind of workers, you will be making different kinds of dresses and shoes even. The third are psychographic factors. Okay, psychographic factors are based on personality, interests, opinions, activities. The sportsmen and gym going people have different kinds of requirements as compared to the people who do not sports, who are not sportsmen and gym going. So these kinds of segmentations are called psychographic segmentations. For example, these many might be influenced from the social class of the people. For example, many middle class families spend considerable sums of money on private education for their children. But this might be not might be a priority for other social classes. For example, attitude towards ethical businesses practices, such as some products, fair trade products, are very strong among the consumers, and some consumers, they may be very important, and among others consumer groups that might be not important. Some people might have increasing interest in the organic food because of their education, culture, or their health issues. Some people might not have. This is related to the lifestyle that I earlier discussed. Similarly, we may talk about the opinions, interest, and the choice of the layer activities. For example, going to cinema or not going to cinema. Few people might have home theater and they might watch all movies there, and they would have never gone to cinema, for example. Personality characters, I have told you, that might be different, influenced by they can influence the consumption decision of the consumers. Particularly, some people are attracted by the advertisements, a few other people might not be attracted by the advertisement. So different psychological factors are also there that create psychographic segmentation. There are some very interesting terms used when we talk about the demographic segmentation. You can do a little internet research on that and check yourself. One is called Dinky, one is called Nilk, another is called Woof. You can do some internet research and let me know another day when we have class what these terms mean, and we can discuss them. Okay, coming to the advantages of market segmentation. In the case of market segmentation, business can define their markets precisely. And design the products, goods according to the specially aimed people of the groups, because we have identified their characteristics and attributes. It also enables business to identify the gaps in market. And with the help of this identification, business can exploit all those gaps. Business can make differentiated marketing strategies for every different segment. marketing strategies. For every segment. And so every consumer might be attracted according to that. In the segmentations, for there is a business for larger benefits that smaller businesses might not be able to compete. And if smaller business then want to exist in the market, they can only focus on one or two segments, and it will make them possible for them to stay and survive in the market. To compete larger businesses. And then smaller businesses can focus one or two segments and they can survive. Businesses can do price discrimination between the different segments. Price discrimination is charging different prices in the different markets. And as a result of that, business can earn higher profits, because in some markets they can charge lower price, in some market they can charge higher price to earn more revenue and profits. Coming to the disadvantages. Okay. For this, business will have to do a lot of research and development. A lot of research and development, and that research and development might be costly and time taking. Similarly, promotional costs will be high because business will be targeting different segments and making different and differentiated promotional strategies for every kind of market. Promotional and inventory holding cost will be high. Promotional we have already discussed. Sorry, production and inventory. And inventory control cost will be very high. For the smaller businesses, if they're focusing only one or two limited market segments, excessive specialization could lead to problems. Consumer in those segments change their purchasing habits significantly. Focusing one or two segments will be very risky. Like in niche market, we are risky. We are at risk, sorry. Because consumer can change their demands quickly. Consumer can change their demands quickly. And that's it. These are the advantages and disadvantages of market segmentation and all the related topics of market segmentation.